Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday. I'm Christina.
And I'm Jackie. Today we're talking about planning feels restrictive.
You resist making plans because it feels like losing freedom, or you make plans and then immediately want to rebel against them, even though they're your plans.
This creates chaos and last-minute stress.
Today we'll release the resistance, understand the neuroscience, and rewire towards seeing structure as supportive.
What's happening when planning feels restrictive?
Well, your brain has two competing needs, autonomy and predictability. So if you grew up where control was used against you, where you had no say, your nervous system learned that structure equals loss of autonomy, which equals danger. Now even your plans trigger that threat response.
So it's not about the plan. It's what planning represents.
Exactly. And some people have high novelty-seeking temperaments. It's actually their brain gets rewarded by spontaneity, but structure feels adversive.
So they're not just being difficult.
Not at all. But here's the paradox. Without structure, you end up with less freedom. You're constantly reactive, decision fatigue sets in, and you have no energy for what matters. Planning creates freedom because you've made the decisions in advance, and so your prefrontal cortex isn't constantly choosing. You can just execute.
So I see resistance to planning connected to nervous system dysregulation. So when you're in chronic sympathetic activation, planning feels impossible because your brain cannot access the calm prefrontal cortex function needed to plan.
So they avoid planning because they can't plan?
Often, yes. Planning requires a ventral vagal state, calm and connected. If you're in fight or flight, your brain is focused on immediate survival, not next week.
So regulation comes before planning.
Well, it should. Now, it does. It does. I also see this in people with childhood trauma around control. Structure can equal punishment in their system. Spontaneity can equal safety. But this pattern keeps them from stability they need to heal.
Well, how do we shift this?
All right. Well, release the association between structure and control and rewire to see planning as self-care. Structure gives your nervous system the predictability it needs to feel safe enough to heal.
Well, let's release the resistance.
All right.
So we're going to do a little bit of discovery. So let's go over it. So
yes, if I was talking to somebody in a session, I would ask them, so how does planning make you feel?
Yeah.
What do you feel in your body?
That's right. So some people would say, I feel like I lose my freedom when I make plans. Or plans trap me, or I want to do it, but once it happens, I don't have any willpower to make it happen.
Right. I've had people say that planning feels like a cage.
Ouch.
Or a trap.
Ooh, yeah.
And they actually can feel it. I feel tight.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
nervous.
when they're in the middle of plans and they just want more than anything to break free.
Yeah. We're just going to hit the road and find a hotel on the way.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And I'm like, oh, or sleep in your car. That's plan B.
That's the thing. That's the choice. And so that's the thing, too, is every person's going to have their ideal place where they are in balance.
Right.
And so some people very well might just want to jump in the car and go on a trip, and they know they have the skills and the capability.
Right. They're resourced for it.
They're resourced for it.
Right.
And the same people will be able to pull up a hotel on the way.
Right.
But if, let's say, you do the same thing, but you're not resourced for it, you will be, do I stop here or in 2 hours? Do I stop at this hotel or that hotel? Do I camp over here or over there? The lack of control, now your brain's just spinning in circles.
Right. Right.
So understanding planning as self-care and finding what works for you.
Right, because it's also not obsessively planning.
Yeah,
it's saying what is needed.
Yes.
What is the best way to resource this trip?
For me and for the group as a whole, if you're traveling with people.
Exactly.
Because I travel by bullet point. I have all the things that I want to do. And if I don't get to do all of them, I cross off one bullet point and I go to the next.
Right.
I know that you travel a lot more detailed because it's okay, then we're going to spend this amount of time here. And then we're going to spend this amount of time here. And then I want to make sure we are over here so we're by the restaurant for dinner.
In my life, I have a rhythm that I live by. And it works very well for me and my physical needs. And I go by the slow train.
That's okay.
I don't go by the bullet train. And it feels peaceful and significant to me. So I will have blocks of time. So I don't plan every 15 minutes, but I say in this morning block, I want to be here. Now there's travel when you just have to go somewhere and get it done.
Yes.
But this is just a trip, like
It's a
planning a trip.
Even a day
Yeah.
trip.
And if things change, I just move blocks around. So I
Yeah.
have the ability to change things.
So with this release, I want you to understand we're not saying, oh, if you don't have an OCD level of planning
No.
done, you're not doing.
Nope.
But if you have plans
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't feel good, or you hate making plans, or you make the plans and you hate to do that, there might be a reason for that.
Right.
So,
and your plan might be, we're just going to take a drive on Sunday and see where we end up. And that is a plan.
that's a plan. Because you're not boating, you're not going on a walk. You already chosen.
Yeah,
you've
chosen what
drive.
you're going to do, and you have what you need to take a Sunday drive.
That's right.
It's not like saying, I'm going to start crossing the United States. And
Yeah.
I don't know what road I'm going to take. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I don't have anything packed.
So I really, I think we both noted the same one. Structure feels like a cage.
Structure, we've heard that a lot.
We've heard that one a lot. Mm-hmm. So how's that for a statement? Even though sometimes structure feels like a cage.
Right.
I like that. And completely accept myself.
Well, and I think because sometimes it feels like structure is somebody else's plan.
Yes.
And there's the right way to, structure can feel like a cage.
Yeah, because especially, but right now it's just.
It's okay to say, I feel that way.
Okay.
But then after we tap and we release that, we can make our plan that doesn't feel like a cage.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So
even though
structure
feels like a cage.
Structure feels like a cage.
I'm going to change it. Right here, right now, I'm okay.
Right here, right now, I'm okay.
Even though
structure
feels like a cage.
Structure feels like a cage.
Right here, right now, I'm okay.
Right here and right now, I'm okay.
Even though structure feels like a cage.
Even though structure feels like a cage.
Right here and right now, I'm okay.
Right here and right now, I'm okay.
Structure feels like a cage.
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 It feels like a cage.
It feels like a cage.
Good release. Structure feels like a cage.
Structure feels like a cage.
Oh, structure feels like a cage.
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 Mm-hmm. And the hug. Good release. Structure feels like a cage.
Structure feels like a cage. And so before you tap, or write down your suds. Below 4, you're good to go. Above 4, check out the community, or just tap along with us, or do the breathing exercise.
Yep.
And then after you finish tapping each round, gauge where you are, if it's lower.
Right.
If the intensity is higher, or if it stayed the same.
Yeah, if you follow your TDR journal.
It all works out.
You're going to have all the support you need to create your statements and to know the next step.
So here's the action step. I want you to understand this. If you've really, really struggled with this schedule, it can be very restrictive. But I want you to understand, when you plan, that's agency. That's you taking your power back.
So your body thrives on rhythm. Your circadian rhythm, digestion, hormones, all work better with consistent patterns. Structure isn't restriction, it's regulation.
So here's your practice. First, release identity where chaos creates stress. Notice the cost of not planning.
Well, second is rewire. Create one small supportive structure. Maybe eating lunch at the same time, or a 10-minute morning routine.
Third, restore. Notice how the structure affects your nervous system. Does it create mental space? You are restoring your relationship with planning.
Planning isn't restriction. It's creating a foundation stable enough to relax.
All right, see you tomorrow.